Dan Koe is one of the biggest self-improvement creators on YouTube right now. He's making an absolute killing from seemingly thin air. So what's his content strategy and funnel that makes him over $5 million a year? I broke it all down, so let's dive in. On the surface here, this looks fairly simple. It's not as crazy as last week's when we looked at Haiden, but there's a lot going on in the funnel section. So first of all, let's look at organic content because this is where everything stems from. And he did something very different that I haven't really seen anyone else do. And what he does is he has a lot of top of funnel content being his podcast, aka the audio version of his YouTube videos. It's what's crazy, that's the crazy thing, is all this, it all stems from YouTube. Everything is the exact same as his YouTube. So his content that is on LinkedIn, YouTube, and then this is from like Twitter, and then that's like from Instagram. Like it's all the exact same that he pulls from his newsletter down here, which we'll get into. And you can see actually in this newsletter, the newsletter is what he writes in the newsletter is what he does in the video. So he's basically every single Saturday he supposedly sends this email, which I only got one. I signed up like 2 weeks ago, and besides the confirmation email, which I'll get into and all that a little bit later, but he writes basically a script and then uses all this content in that newsletter to fuel, well, his YouTube video number one, then the podcast, then LinkedIn, then Twitter, then Instagram. And it is unbelievable how much he's able to reuse that content, and it works. It's really unbelievable. So podcast, you'll notice here, he's actually doing some numbers. 4.8 stars on 1.5k reviews. Seems like a lot for Spotify on a little podcast there. Now, on LinkedIn, 158k followers. I mean, I don't know too much about LinkedIn, but that seems pretty decent. On Twitter, 480,000 followers. On Instagram, his biggest following, 1.6 million. And the content here, there's nothing too crazy to break down. It's really just all that repurposed content. You'll see on Twitter, he's doing some motivational tweets. He's doing maybe a little bit of value tweets. Then he has a little pitch to Cortex, his software, and on Instagram, it's, more of the exact same. On his story highlights, Cortex, book, 2-hour writer, it literally just like pitches, pod, emails. So it's one big flywheel, essentially. That's all he's doing. And he has building Cortex, reading book, and that's it. So he's keeping it very straightforward. Now, one thing you're going to notice here, black and white. Very common theme here throughout everything. For his posts, for his podcast, for his pictures, for everything. That's his brand. You don't see that anywhere else besides Dan Koe. Only one doing black and white. So that's what helped him stand out. Now, YouTube is where all the magic happens. I believe he specifically said this, I should probably go into present mode, that he specifically said that I believe it's 75% of his revenue comes from YouTube. And that just goes to show the power of long-form content. And sure, all this other stuff might, it'll affect it, right? You can do a lot of top of funnel stuff, drive traffic to YouTube, but the actual conversion mechanism is gonna be YouTube. Always has been for many people and always will be. So the reason why is that's where you spend that one-on-one time. Yeah, you can read a lot of words, you can spend time with them in a long-form content, but where you really spend is like 50 minutes, 40 minutes, 30 minutes. This one was short, that was probably maybe a pitch. 30 minutes, like 40 minutes. All that stuff, that's one-on-one time, just him talking to you. You're spending a lot of time with him, and that's where you can create that connection where you will want to buy. So all these videos, this is not the typical breakdown that I do every week where we look at like value influencers, a lot smaller creators that have specific pillars, conversion pillars of content. This is just a lot of self-improvement. It's just value content. That's all it is. It's just a lot of like solving problems in the self-improvement space, essentially. And honestly, I don't know too much about Dan Koe, to be honest, but to me, on the outside, just looking in, watching maybe a few minutes of his videos, I have no clue who this guy is. He just spawned out of nowhere. You look back, I remember when his first couple videos popped up. It was like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. This guy just spawned out of nowhere. And all of a sudden now he's making tons of money. So that goes to show that you don't always need crazy social proof or anything like that. You can just spawn yourself in, yap for 40 minutes, give some value, and make money. Obviously the stuff he's talking about is valuable. People are resonating with it, otherwise it wouldn't be doing that well. It goes to show you it's very, very impressive. So a lot of this content, I would, normally I would go over the 4 pillars, but doesn't really have that. What he does have a couple how-to videos, how to stop caring, but these are all just problems he's solving. Fastest way to change your life, personal brand. He is trying to do a little more creative stuff too. The things he likes to talk about, right, is self-improvement. So he's hitting on multiple angles, and we'll look at his products is the reason why he's doing all this. If I can, maybe I should erase this right here. But yeah, so all his products, he has a wide variety of products, and he's able to sell that many because of the different types of content he does. So it's a self-improvement / lifestyle, right? You want to build a lifestyle business. You don't want to work, 40 hours a week. You want to work like 20, right? No 40. You want to work 20. So he's really trying to appeal to just a easier life, not like a make money online, get rich as possible, or have a crazy specific skill set like copywriting, do this. It's more broad and just value in terms of life, I guess, if that makes a little bit of sense. So lifestyle, self-improvement, and I mean, I guess make money. You can kind of include that into what his like value stack is. Focus, that's a good one, because I mean it's inside of self-improvement, but like focus, people are really distracted nowadays, right? There's all the TikTok brains, and there's so much brain rot, all that good stuff, bad stuff, and he's kind of going against the herd in that sense, and that's where a lot of people are passionate, and I think that's why he's able to also build such a strong brand, is because there's a lot of people who are going to this self-improvement wave, and he's just capitalizing off of that by kind of feeding them what they're looking for. So yeah, the personal brand, the 4 frameworks to write, and the writing is part of his creative process. So this actually is another one. It appeals to creatives. Writing is his main like kind of pitch. He has one of those with the second brain, that is his like software, and I'm gonna get into that in a second here. But yeah, he really hits on all this stuff. I think that's why he's able to do so well, is because he hits on all of it, and then he sells a product for every single thing, as we're going to look at in a second. Now, I wanted to point out, he didn't do this in all his videos before, but you'll notice, even in the videos themselves, they are in color, which is kind of wild. But the background, light, black. There are no color. The only color is his skin. That is crazy. That is really good branding. Thumbnails, everything makes sense. You'll notice with me, I don't, I'm not as obvious as he is with the black and white. Even he did a little bit of yellow here, but that was only for a few videos. I think he tested that out. Normally it's the black and white. For me, green. I don't have green on, but green, black, and I guess white. I don't know, but those are my colors. So that's what I do. And you look at Iman Gadzhi, obviously his colors, red, blue. You look at other people, they use their colors. Colors are a very powerful thing. So let's look at his YouTube description, because this is always fun. This is where you can find out a lot of stuff. His descriptions have changed over the past couple months. This is the most recent one. And I am not the biggest fan of this, but the only reason why I'm not is because there's so many links. I hate when there's so many options in descriptions. I hate it. It leads to lower conversion rates. It looks cluttered, and it looks like a lot is going on, and I just don't like it. I don't think viewers do either, but for him, with all the stuff he's trying to do, he gets enough views to where it doesn't seem to matter. So if I were him, I would shorten this down and do just like a couple different things. I would do for Cortex, I would do 1 link for Cortex, 1 for products, and I would get rid of socials. But I think because he has this like flywheel effect, right? Everything kind of just goes together. You kind of have to include these. As much as I don't like that, I don't like people going off platform from YouTube, because YouTube doesn't really like that in general. So you have all these links. YouTube wants you to stay on their platform, watch more of their ads, and continue watching videos. They don't want you to leave. So giving all this opportunity, I mean, he literally has a link to his YouTube channel. I don't know. Chapters is fine, but yeah. So that's my 2 cents on that. So let's get into more content too. So I probably wouldn't even have that, but yes, let's look at the funnels. This is where it gets interesting. The very central focus, broadest possible thing he can have is a book, and he has one. This provides not only a lot of social proof, but it provides a very authoritative element to his brand. order on Amazon. You look at Amazon, it's got all these positive reviews. It's got a lot. There's like thousands of reviews. I couldn't believe it. If you look, we have the listing right here. Okay, maybe not thousands of reviews, but 638. That's still pretty decent, considering it launched earlier this year. And paperback, $22. 600 ratings. That alone, if he's getting maybe like a 10%, is 6,000 books. Let's just say he's done 10,000 books. So let's just say $5. That's 50 grand right there, just from the book. So not too bad. And then the year still isn't over. That's just a rough estimate. That is offer number 1. So I'm gonna write this down because there's so many offers. So that's number 1. Besides the book, the next biggest thing he has is number 2, his newsletter. And this is what we're talking about. So he has, just on danko.com, I believe is the link to his website, join 175,000 people every Saturday morning, and you get the YouTube video. So initially, when you get the initial email, it's just a confirm, just for improving his email. He's going to get you with the, let's reply to the email and say got it, and drag this email into the inbox, for all the good stuff for the deliverability, and hope that you can get as many people as possible to do that to make your email favored. But he also provides a link to read previous Dan Koe letters, and they build off of each other. It's all the YouTube videos and all that good stuff. Then what you'll see here is this is like the actual, on his website, like a previous letter. This is October 5th. You see, here's the video. Then all the content, all that, and it kept going. I zoomed out as far as I could on my computer, and I still couldn't get to the bottom. So that's why he's writing massive scripts. That's gotta be a pain in the butt to write. His second email that I got sent was like the normal one. And what's interesting, so it's the Koe letter, right? The very first link is read the online version. That would take you to this. So he immediately tried to pitch you right to here, where then you can watch the YouTube video, or you could just read it out. And then what's interesting is he also has a subtle, just a blatant pitch in the beginning to enroll. I should have put an arrow here into, oops, that's not there. It is all the way over here, into this boot camp right here. So I'm assuming in other emails he's going to pitch to his other offers, because that's a huge source for him. So yeah, then in the bottom of it, he has like a Cortex template, which is like a free resource that will get you kind of into this Cortex ecosystem over here. And then on the bottom, what's funny is there's so many doggone words in this email, he didn't even have enough. So he does a click to read the rest of the letter. No matter what, you're going to get to this page, basically. If you're trying to actually consume his content, you're going to end up here no matter what. Whether you're clicking at the top or you're clicking at the bottom, you're ending up here. So you're going to watch that video, you're going to read all that. And if you're reading all that, you have too much time on your hands. I'm sorry. You can't read in 2x. You can listen in 2x and watch in 2x. You can't read in 2x. Now, there's another free resource he had. I don't think it was in this description. It was in an older one. This was just like a easy lead magnet, free resource. And then that just was a CTA to the newsletter. I'll just send you something, and then obviously you can create that effect of just going round and around with all these different products. So I don't even know which product to go to next. Let's take a look at Cortex. And actually, I want to kind of do a little bit of almost not like a funnel, but I guess a rectangle. Top of funnel, yeah, I guess top of funnel would be content. This would be like programs. And then the next thing would be software. So he's doing a lot of scaling vertically, right? So instead of going like horizontal with multiple channels, so we could have vlog, he could have like just a super raw channel, even though his stuff's already kind of raw. He could do like an edited, I don't know, we're just making things up here. He could do like crazy shorts. He could go horizontally that way. This is what I talked about in my video a couple weeks ago about how to scale to 7 figures and 8 figures with YouTube. You could do that, or you can go vertically. And obviously, you know, you're always going to have your main offer, your main program. But the software, this is where people can really start to scale down. You could go from offer, you could go from low ticket, high ticket, inner circle, software. This is what he's doing, but he just kind of eliminates this, doesn't really have that. He just goes low ticket, high ticket, software. And it's not even in that exact sense, like you're not getting straight funnel down. You could just straight up join the software right away. You don't even need to go to this low ticket. Now, in that low ticket, sure, he's going to pitch that software, and he's going to try to get you going through that way. But he's offering access to all these different things at any point in the funnel. From the top of the funnel down, he's offering you access. It's very interesting, because traditionally, you would see like lead magnet, go to low ticket, go to high ticket, go to software. That's the typical kind of way you would see something go. Maybe the software could even be the top. That could be more like the low ticket, and then the high ticket and like the inner circle. That could be a way somebody would do it too. Everybody does it different. There's no like right way to do it, but that's just more like the traditional way. That's why I'm saying that. But yeah, so for this, I don't think this is like fully built out, but this is a big Notion competitor. He's trying to make it like an all-in-one thing plus AI and like ChatGPT a little bit too, like competitor type thing. That's just for like the writing. And that flows in perfectly with his 2-hour writer course, which we'll get into. But so the pricing for this is pretty cheap. This is very low ticket. This is to appeal to the masses. 15 per seat, and that's the premium. There's 10, so it's a free software. So it's very competitive, the Notion. This is 120, and this is 180 a year. I didn't even look at the monthly plans, but then this is 0. So it's very comparable to Notion. And he's able to drive a lot of traffic to that, obviously, through his content, his personal brand. If we take a look at the other side of what's going on, I'm going to get to this one in a second, but I wanted to show this first. This is a free community for Cortex. So Cortex, free community. And here, he just has links, some premium stuff that you could pay for. That I'm assuming like if you pay for that middle of the road tier on Cortex, there's live events, chats, memes, features, a course, a little mini course just to kind of get you going, roadmap, early access, and just easy stuff to create that bondage around the product. That's really, really key to creating a successful product long term. Think of like a crypto project, the ones that have communities, they can drive a lot of hype, and then they have a nice user base where people are just like really, really promoting it themselves. They would recommend it to their friends. They're really hype about it. They're bullish on it just in general. So that's kind of an easy example. And that will go, of course, to Cortex. Let's just look at digital economics. What the heck is this? I have no clue. It is a bachelor's degree in content. And really what he's doing, if we take a look at this at a broad scale, I think he has, from my understanding, from what I've seen, he has 3 courses. Maybe 3 to 4. 3 to 4 courses. And he just bundles them in a different way. So if we look at this offer, in this bachelor's degree for $500, you get branding and you get content. You get a bachelor's degree program. So you get the 2 hours writer course. You get Notion systems. You get a little bit of course stuff. You get curriculum updates. I'm sure that's gonna never happen. Then you have accelerated recordings from cohorts, and he actually does have an accelerator, which we're gonna look at. New mental monetization course. Where does this come from? The mental monetization over here. You get mental monetization. You have 2-hour writer. Oh, and then you can add in digital economics, which is what we were just looking at. It is crazy. Digital economics, it all just goes together. The mental monetization is literally like the same thing as this. So he has like 3 courses. He's packaging them all differently depending on what exactly you're looking for. So if you're looking to be a creative, he'll get you on that with the writing right here. It's a recession-proof skill without spending years on a degree. So it's anti-college. We can actually add that real quick to people he appeals to. Where's my thing? Self-improvement, lifestyle, make money, creatives, anti-college for lack of a better word. Like, if you need something in any of these industries, he's got it. He's just packaging the exact same thing slightly differently. Very, very interesting. He has really long copy on these pages, by the way, and his funnels are straight social proof. So apparently it does something. It does work, and it's a big copy, and then a lot of social proof. He doesn't show the price till way down there. There's a lot. So I had trouble just trying to find the price. It took me so long to scroll down there. So that there was a lot. Now the 2-hour writer. This is the other offer he has. So we have $150. This is his cheapest thing he has besides Cortex. Then you can add that mental monetization over here, which is $225. And you get that for a little discount. You get it for $100. And then you can just buy digital economics, which digital economics is $9.99 on everything. Reason why is because it is whatever, this course plus this course plus this course, so that's just going to be $9.99. I can't even begin to take a guess at what numbers he's doing for all of these. Honestly, like, I really have no clue. But he's definitely printing with it. So yeah, recession-proof skill, some nice copy there. Monetize your creative work with a digital product that sells while you sleep. We got to add something here. We got to add something. He's hitting on passive income. because he does. I think he does have some videos like that too, where it's about investing and stuff like that. So passive income, he's hitting on everything imaginable. It's ridiculous. And to top it all off, he does these accelerators or boot camps, whatever you want to call them. If we take a look at the one he's doing right now, build a content ecosystem in 45 days. Basically a 6-week program, and in here, you can get early enrollment for $150, you can get $350, that's a crazy deal, or you get a lifetime tier, you become a Cortex contributor and unlock perks for $2K. And that's a one-time fee. That is, I believe that's a one-time too. It doesn't say it is, but you get a curriculum, you get some workshops, you get projects, you get scripting and strategies. So I'm assuming he's probably going to package some stuff that he's used before in his other courses, bring it into here, and then kind of make some new content that he can then later add on into as either his current courses or just the new course that he's going to make and hit on some other aspects. So what he's doing here is very, very interesting, and it's it's pretty smart too, because it's hitting on everything. So he's hitting on every single pain point that you could possibly. He's crossing the bridge, right? So if we take a look at, like, here's problem 1, here's problem 2, here's problem 3, and if we look at this, I mean, he has problem 4 too while we're at it. So we have desired situation, desired situation, desired situation, desired situation, current state, current state, current state, current state. Here is the product / the solution. So there's a solution, 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 solution. That's how he's going to do it, just over and over with all these different problems. That's essentially what he's doing when he's hitting on all these things right there. So very, very interesting. And what I love to talk about on this channel is being a value influencer. He's doing the value influencing model at a very big scale. So he's providing value. He's solving a problem, and he's making YouTube content around it, and he's taking them from their current to their desired situation, which is the offer and product. And usually this is going to be in kind of a super niche, is what I like to call it, and it's going to be in something like e-com copywriting, or even just in copywriting in general, just very, very specific, not packaging as like the 2-hour writer. I mean, you could do that. You could create your own niche in that sense, which would be great, but then that's all you would talk about. You wouldn't talk about, the broadest topics possible and then funnel people in. The reason why he's able to do that is because he's very good at writing, obviously, because his scripts they're getting views. He's good at packaging. He's great at YouTube and content as a whole. So, and he has all this content, funneling in. So he's going very, very broad. That's why he's able to do that. Very few people are going to be able to do that. That's why I don't necessarily recommend going viral or trying to go broad for everybody. That's why the easiest way for people to make money and scale and do all that stuff is by going into the super niche. Now, this video is just proof that you don't need to do that. I'm not gonna, deny that that's not possible. If you want to learn more about being a value influencer, I have a 71-minute free course that you can watch right there, and hopefully you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.